Mm. Hello! Pardon me while I finish my dinner. I thought I'd have more time to eat before I started my video, but that was good. All right, thank you for joining me. Hello and welcome. I am Patrick, the owner of Perching Wolf Studios, and I welcome you to our Wednesday night Sacred Pipe ceremony. So, I wasn't sure if we were going to do it outside tonight or not, because it kind of looks kind of iffy out here. And I took a nap and I woke up and like, oh, it's dark outside. Maybe I need to just go do it at my office. And when I woke up from my nap, I looked at the weather on my phone and it said 30% chance of rain. And then I checked again 10 minutes later and it said 60% chance of rain. And then I got into my car and like, it doesn't feel too bad out here. Maybe it's not gonna. And I stopped for a chai on the way. And I checked the weather then and it said no rain. I was like, cool. And then I got here and I checked it again and it said 40% chance of rain. And the last I looked at it, it was no chance of rain. So we have no idea. I'm just going on my intuition. I just really, like, as soon as I thought I was gonna do it in my office, it was like, okay, I guess we can play inside today. But then it's like, screw that. I want to do it outside. And so apparently, according to excuse me, according to the weather thingy, it's either going to be 30, 40, or 60% chance of rain or no chance of rain. And so if I get wet, I get wet. I brought my cloak, my big old cloak with me, just in case if it starts to rain. I've got my cloak and a hood to keep me dry, and it's actually, my cloak is huge and I can actually cover my entire altar area if I need to keep things dry. But anyway, so yay, we're outside. So thank you for coming. Thank you so much for joining me here. If you're new, I have been doing this for a little over a year now. We've kind of come full circle. I started when the pandemic struck. I had right toward the beginning of it, I got laid off from my day job, and then I started doing pipe ceremony pretty much every day just on my own, to kind of help pray for the community, pray for the nation, pray for the world, hold that light frequency for everybody, kind of infuse that that sense of hope and light into an otherwise dark situation. And as I got going, a few weeks in, I was like, I want to share this with the people. The pipe ceremony is probably the most sacred space that I have experienced. And I have experienced a lot. And so I'm like, you know, if it weren't for the pandemic, I could be doing this in person and have a pipe circle, but seeing as these aren't normal times, I'm like, well, maybe I should do it on like a Facebook Live video. And traditionally, that is, I don't know if it's taboo but there is things about there's certain traditions about not photographing your pipe when it's joined. You know, right now it's in two pieces at the moment. And so some of the traditions say that you shouldn't film or photograph your pipe when it's put together. But after doing a lot of soul searching and asking a couple of indigenous friends, you know, and asking White Buffalo Calf Woman, who has been my guide for nigh on 12 to 15 years or something like that, and she's the one who brought the pipe to the Lakota people. And she's like, well, whose idea do you think it was? And so I started doing this a little over a year ago to give people, you know, in the middle of your mundane week, during this really strange time with the pandemic and everything else going on, I didn't want to just be sending prayers for people like I was doing, like carrying intentions, including people in my prayers, but I wanted to give people a moment of sacred space, a moment to pause in their day, to pause in their week, and to breathe and to connect to the sacred. That to me is so much more, that's like probably the most important part of prayer, the most important part of manifesting is that alignment and that sitting in sacred space, because that in itself is a prayer. If you do nothing else but align, that in itself is a prayer. Then you are a walking prayer. If you can walk through your day totally present, totally in line with your spirit, connected to Creator, then you are a walking, talking, breathing prayer. And you affect the world around you accordingly. You affect everyone around you accordingly. So this was such a sacred place, sacred thing, and just felt too sacred to keep to myself. But as a shaman and as a pipe carrier, part of my responsibility is to support the community, right? And so it just seemed like the best way to support my community was to share this sacred space, this give people the opportunity themselves to experience a time of stillness, of connection. And so that's what we did. And so that's why we're here tonight. I can't believe it's been an entire year. When I first started last year around this time, I assumed we'd be done by fall, you know, and so here we are a year later, just kind of going with the flow. And not only has this been benefiting other people, but I look forward to this every week. This is a highlight of my week, and it helps to carry me through the week as well. So it's not just something I'm doing out of the goodness of my heart. It definitely has its mutual benefits for me as well. And so it's a win-win situation. And I welcome you, and I thank you so much for your presence. For those that have been with me that entire year, it's like, thank you for your perseverance. Now we got a soundtrack. I don't know if you hear that. Someone just pulled into the parking lot behind me with the radio blaring. But so that is why we are here. You know, everything I do, whether it's teaching or doing shamanic healing work and ritual work or whatever, it's like I always try to impart some sort of experiential portion to helping someone, to help empower people, because it's one thing to go to someone and have them tell you what's going on, or tell you who your totem animals are, your spirit guides are, or what your ancestors are telling you, whatever. And it's another thing for people to experience it themselves. You know, if it's hearsay, if it's secondhand, then it is always, there's always that little element of doubt, that little element of, well, that's what that person said, but I'm not exactly sure. They could have been picking up something else, blah, blah, blah. But by doing this live, I'm hoping to give you the experience of feeling what sacred space feels like, what silence and stillness feels like, what it feels like to connect to spirit, because when you experience those things, then they are a part of you. They are part of your sensory perception, and nobody can take that from you. So, welcome to my circle, welcome to my sacred pipe ceremony. If you're new here, thank you for joining me and taking a chance, and I will explain the ceremony in a minute. Let's see. So if you came in late, I'm like, I've got kind of one eye toward the sky to see if it's going to rain or not. I talked to Pan. He's the great god of nature. I'm like, please let it hold off. But that's the nature of prayer as well. It's like you ask and then you surrender, because the universe always, always, always fulfills your desires, your passions, everything you ask for, but it fulfills the heart of it, not just the surface of it. And so sometimes when you pray for something, it comes in a whole different form, and like you pray for the rain to stay away, but if that's not for your highest good, it might rain anyway, and they're like, oh, it rained and I had fun, well, what was I worried about, kind of thing. So anyway, so blah blah blah. Welcome again to my circle, to pipe ceremony. If you haven't been here before, I'll do a quick tutorial, and for all those who have been with me for an entire year, I thank you for your patience and listening to this every single week. But so this is the sacred pipe. Like I said, it was given to the Lakota people by a white buffalo calf woman 19 generations ago. And since then, it's become basic. It's basically the altar or the church of the Lakota people. They're nomadic, so they could take it wherever they go. And when we put the pipe together, it is all creation. The stem is the divine masculine, and the bowl is the divine feminine. Excuse me. My nose is itchy, so my guides must be around. So when I put it together, it is like the yin yang. It's like the masculine, feminine, the dark, the light, the hard, the soft, all together as one. And it basically opens a channel straight to Great Spirit. No waiting, no filters, just boom. Intercom straight to Creator. So that's why we keep the pipe separate when we're not in ceremony, because as soon as we put the pipe together, it is like one, as long as the pipe stays together, it is one long prayer. And everything that you think or say or happens while the pipe is together is part of that same prayer. And so I always recommend to people that, pray in the affirmative, like affirmations, pray in gratitude as though what you need, what you desire has already come to you. Because when we do that, when we thank Creator for things that we haven't even gotten yet, it's basically a sign of faith. Like, okay, I know, ask and it shall be received, or something like that. But it is that show of faith, knowing that what we desire will come to us if we get out of the way and allow the universe to bring it to us. It's like the universe is like a giant GPS system, and what we pray for, the intentions we set, that's like setting that destination on your GPS. And then you get out of the way and you allow the GPS to tell you, to guide you, okay, go straight, okay, now turn left, okay, now turn right. The universe knows how to get to that destination. We don't. In our, three-dimensional world, we can't see the road ahead of us necessarily. And so we let go and trust the universe to guide us in that direction, and to have the synchronicities happen for the right people, the right situations, the right information to come to us to speed us on our way to that destination. It's kind of like that metaphor, you probably heard it, like when you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing yet. And that's the way prayer is. It's like you set your intentions, your desires, and then you let it go. You trust the seed, you trust the earth around the seed to nurture that seed. You trust that the seed knows what it needs to do to blossom. And so we set our intentions and then we let it go. And we let go of expectations, knowing that, okay, that's where we want to go, but we don't know what it might look like when we get there. There might be road construction outside the building, or there might be, different things, but we will get there. So anyway, so that was a little bit on prayer, a little bit about the pipe, what the ceremony will look like. In a minute, I will set sacred space. It's funny because sometimes I forget to, because I'm outside. It's like, it is sacred space. But when we set sacred space, it is to create basically an energetic container to hold space for us to do our work. And we call in the spirits and the elements to hold space for us, to encircle us in this bubble of higher vibration energy and love and light, so that nothing of a lesser vibration can get through. So we can let down our guard, we can let down our shields and just be. Because at some point in everyone's spiritual path, you have to come to a place where, how do I put it? It's really about surrendering. It's really about, if you've always got something to fight against, if you've always got something in opposition to yourself, if that's where you're getting your power and your motivation, then eventually you're just going to be going in circles, because There is no separation. Masculine, feminine, connected, one thing, one energy, one universe. And so at some point, you have to let go. And it doesn't mean you're there yet. It doesn't mean, okay, I'm going to go jump in a volcano because I know I'm going to be safe. I'm not saying anything like that. But at some point, it's like you kind of cross that threshold of everything is one. There is no separation. It's a non-dual universe. And so any of that energy that you're using to protect yourself, you know, everyone's like, oh, what's the energy going to be like this week? Oh, what's happening in the planets? Oh no, I got to shield and protect myself, and grumble, grumble, grumble. And actually everything that happens in your life is happening to get you further along your path. It's a friendly universe, everything that happens. And I'm not saying that horrific things don't happen, and that they're not saying they're, you know, suck it up. There's no such thing as pain or death or anything like that. But everything is sacred. Every moment is sacred. Every moment you are whole. And the universe will use whatever is in front of you to help you realize that wholeness, to bring you home. And so at some point on your spiritual path, it comes to the point of surrender, because everything is one. And you can't get there by force. You know, the whole idea of enlightenment, of self-actualization, or whatever you want to call it, is to be the light and the love that you are. Your essence, you are light and love. You are divine in your essence. And you can't express that if you're trying to hold it back, if you're trying to protect yourself, because there's something else out there trying to get you. And I don't know why I was talking about that, or why I started that, or where I was going to, but it's like the universe is on your side. You are part of a whole universe. You are part of a holographic universe, where even though you might feel like a teeny tiny little part of that universe, you contain the entire universe within you. And there is nothing out of reach. There is nothing out there trying to get you, trying to kill you, trying to hold you back. If there are obstacles, if there are puzzles, their purpose is not to ground you or to, you know, destroy you. They are there to help you realize that strength and that love and that light within you. You know, different people can experience the same or similar things, like disease or war or whatever, and have different experiences. Like if you think about Viktor Frankl, the author of Man's Search for Meaning, and he went through the Holocaust. He went through the death camps, and he came through it with a better appreciation of life. And I need to reread that. I haven't read it since probably I was a teenager, but it's always stuck with me, and it's like the same circumstances. It's not the circumstances that hurt you, or what are the words? I'm struggling for words today. That hold you back. It's your thoughts and your perceptions about those circumstances. And so open up and surrender. This is a safe place for you to let down your shields. Just for an hour. You can pick up all that stuff again when we're done. But right now, just know that you are safe, that you are loved, that you are held, and that for the moment, you can just put down all of the issues, all of your anxieties, all of your fears. Um, One thing my mom used to teach me when I was a kid, because I was a worrier, still kind of am off and on, but I used to worry about everything, literally everything. And my mom would say, okay, just imagine there is a shelf above your bed, and on that shelf is a box, and that box is God's box. And take all those fears, all those things you're worried about, and put them in that box, and let God worry about them overnight so that you can sleep. And so right now, if you need to, imagine you've got a nice little box or treasure chest or something next to you. You are safe to take all those fears, all the anxieties, all your issues, and put them into that box right now. Let the divine, let Creator guard them, watch over them, and you are more than free to pick them back up after the ceremony if you want to. And you're also free to let them stay there and give them away to the divine to take care of. So, let me, before I forget, I am going to call in Sacred Space after one more sip of chai. So, and when I left my apartment, I thought I was going to be doing this in my office, so I didn't bring my drum because I've got a drum in my office. And then I'm like, no, I want to do it outside. So normally I drum in the spirits to hold space for us, but tonight I got my rattle. I always have my rattle with me, and if I don't, I usually have something else. I've actually, when I had a day job, I've come here or to like a different park on my lunch break with a bottle of aspirin and used the rattling of the bottle of aspirin to do a shamanic journey to get answers and such. So you use what you have with you. And gosh, I'm slobbering all over the place. All right, so again, we're setting sacred space here for the spirits to hold us in love and light, to keep us, hold us, protect us, save, keep us safe, so that we can let down our own guards. We can take off the clothing of fear, the coats and the jackets that we wear of fear that we think protect us, and you're safe to take those off here and now. So, spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, compassionate spirits of the middle world, the fae, the spirits of the land, and the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Bless us with your love and your light. Hold us, watch over us. Thank you. All right. I've been doing this for so many years, and it never ceases to amaze me how different it feels after setting sacred space. And when I do that, like I mentioned, we live in a holographic universe. So when I'm calling in the spirits and setting sacred space, surrounding myself with love and light, my intention is surrounding you with that same love and light, so that in essence, now we are all here on this beautiful shore of the river. Let me show you where we're sitting now. This is where we're sitting, this beautiful little river. It's a Cedar River. It's like such a secret, sacred little spot for me. Well, sometimes in the summer it's not so secret, because suddenly people seem to come out of the woodwork to come down and go swimming. And I love bridges, and there's this beautiful old train trestle above me. And so this is where we are right now. You're sitting on the shore of this lovely river with me as we are about to do sacred ceremony. So, if you have not been to a pipe ceremony before, or haven't been to my pipe ceremony, what's going to happen? I'm going to say a prayer. I'm going to join my pipe together. I'm going to put 4 pinches of tobacco in the bowl. And then I have a song I sing that White Buffalo Calf Woman gave me to sing before every ceremony that I facilitate. So I will sing that. And then you'll see me at different times kind of do this motion. And what that means, like if I have to relight the pipe or something like that, that is to honor all my relations in that spiral, and then I touch the bowl to the earth to honor Mother Earth. So I will do that. I will light the pipe, and then I will blow breath blessings into the 4 directions, to Father Sky, to Mother Earth, to all my relations, and then to Creator. And then I'll have a moment of a silent prayer with the stem pressed to my forehead, my third eye, and the bowl to my heart. And then I will come back, relight the pipe, and then the first puff of smoke I do, I will blow into my camera. And again, through the holographic universe and the magic of the internet, that blessing will go straight from my heart, through my phone, in the internet, and into your heart. So then I will continue for a time to blow breath blessings, intermittently, just sitting with the pipe on my lap, kind of meditating, tuning in, etc. And so during that time, you are wholeheartedly invited to do whatever you do to connect to Creator, to connect to your spirit, to align, whether it's chanting or dancing or yoga or whatever it is, meditating. Because that is why I create this space. And then at some point, when I feel we're complete, I will say another prayer. There's another song, and then I will pull the pipe apart, and that will be the end of the ceremony. And then I will probably talk and ramble for a little bit longer, and we'll release the sacred space and go our merry ways. So let's see, am I forgetting anything? I think that is it. And we are still rain free, so we'll see what happens. All right, so the first thing, before I do any of that, I'm gonna light a little bit of sage. And I forgot to bring any sweetgrass because I thought, again, I was gonna be at my office where I have sweetgrass. But lighting some sage. And I'm gonna basically clear the energy of all, I'm gonna smudge everything on my altar here. So may you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every way. Day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk, I just got pooped on. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. All right. Grandmother, grandfather, eagle, I send a voice. I ask permission to smoke in this place at this time. All my guides and guardians, watch over me as I smoke. Creator, Earth Mother, Tiwabin, Shanadisi, Majikiwas, and Wabus. There is always room for you in my pipe. Creator, Earth Mother, for the two-legged, the four-legged, the winged, the crawlers and the swimmers, all my relations come smoke with me. Grandmother Moon, Grandmother Ocean, to the energy of birth, growth, maturity, the spirit realm and our ancestors, may all the passages of our lives be in harmony and grace. Creator, Earth Mother, to the wisdom of eagle, coyote, bear, white buffalo calf woman, bringer of the pipe and the law of good relations to the people. Okane Bayama Okane Bayama Okane Bayama Okane. Yo. Okane Bayama Okane Bayama Okane Bayama Okane. Yo. Okane Bayama Okane Bayama Okane Bayama Okane. Yo. grandmother, grandfather, eagle, I send a voice. I thank you for our lives. I thank you for our paths. Thank you for these moments, this moment, and all moments to come. Held in peace, in stillness, in inspiration. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for everything. Aho. Ihi la ihi o. Ihi la ihi o. Ihi la ihi o. Ihi, ihi la ihi o. Ihi la ihi o. Ihi la ihi o. Ihi. Laho. Wow. Holy cow. Woo. I don't know if you felt what you felt or what you experienced, but that was really deep. You notice I had to take my my poncho off because I was getting overheated. So that is the Sacred Pipe ceremony. It was funny last night. I've been trying to come down, now that it's nicer out, I've been trying to come down more on a daily basis. So I've been coming down like in the mornings and the afternoon and doing pipe here myself. And so I did it yesterday. Actually had an experience with a couple of gay ducks. If anyone ever tells me that homosexuality is not natural, I have a couple of ducks for them to meet. But I went home thinking, okay, that was awesome. I connected, I aligned, I got my pipe ceremony in. Okay, I'm going home and I got a bunch of other stuff done. And then like around this time last night, 8 o'clock, 8-ish, 8:30, I started feeling kind of antsy, like I need to do something. What am I supposed to do? It was like, I need to go do pipe. It's like my guides were calling me to come to the river last night after dark. And kind of like, I was like, I love doing pipe in the dark. But like, this isn't like totally secluded, like out in the woods someplace. So you might be able to hear the cars in the road over here. But it's still kind of down in this little hollow, kind of secluded. And so coming down here after dark is always kind of an iffy, like, not that I would really be any danger, but there's still that, you know, your spider senses start tingling and kind of, you know, protection. But my guides were telling me to come down, and so I just like, okay. So I came down last night after dark. I was doing pipe ceremony here, and it was actually really beautiful. It's like the lights from the road over here around the bend. The cars would come around the bend, and the lights would shine off of the river. It was really pretty, and but being in the dark, I accidentally pulled my tobacco bag pouch out upside down, and so I had it sitting here in front of me upside down. I went to go pick it up, and it was like and I had a brand new thing of tobacco in there. I'm like, oh shoot, I just lost all that tobacco I just bought. But like, because I kind of like, oh, it's upside down, and so I started and I did my pipe and everything. And I set my hand down in front of me, and I felt all this little pile of tobacco. I'm like, oh no. And I think what happened, if you noticed, when I put the pinches in the bowl, I always do it over my pipe bag so that if things like loose stuff doesn't quite go into the pipe, it goes back into the bag. And so the bottom of the leather bag, I've got the pouch of tobacco in the leather bag, but sometimes the tobacco collects on the bottom of the bag. And so I had planned on taking that tobacco, since it was at the bottom of the bag and everything. I was going to use it to make prayer ties, which is another Native American ceremony where you take pinches of tobacco, you put them in a little square of fabric, and you pray the whole time. You put your prayers into the tobacco, into this fabric, and then you fold it up around and you tie it, and you get this whole string of prayer ties, and then you burn it, and it's like releasing those prayers. That's what I had intended for the tobacco, but apparently the spirits of the land were in a big hurry to get those prayers, and so they dumped my bag like, we want it now, instant gratification. So when I was done last night, I did another little special ceremony and released that tobacco to the spirits of the land. So it was all good and everything, but it was kind of funny. And then as I'm sitting here, you know, I'm kind of like, my ears are pricked, and I'm like, trying to hear, make sure that I'm safe, and there's no one else around, there's no weird sounds coming, etc. And eventually I kind of relaxed into it, was like, okay, I'm safe, I'm okay, I'm here. And then I was talking to White Buffalo Calf Woman, because I've been feeling like right on the verge of some initiation, some threshold, something going on. And I've actually, I've been a little bit like more on the nervous side recently. My stomach has been nervous. It's kind of like this impending shift coming. And so I asked White Buffalo Calf Woman, I was like, what do I need to do, or what do I need to let go of in order to move into this new threshold, this new initiation? And she was like, you just did it. And I'm like, what? It's like, we asked you to come to the river. You had your fears and your, you know, second thoughts about it, but you still came, and you sat here with those feelings until they dissipated. That was the threshold. And she was like, initiations don't need to be earth-shattering, mountains crumbling kind of events. It can be just one step after the other, just stepping into the new threshold. That's all. You know, we like, oh no, we got another initiation coming. Oh no, I've got another death and rebirth and dark night of the soul and all that. And it's like, it doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be a big light show, one breath after the other. So I just thought that was worth sharing tonight. Because I think I mentioned this last week or the week before. It was like, I've been feeling kind of like I was on a roller coaster, just clicking up, and I was just cresting that peak of the roller coaster, and there's like this just dropping into nothing below me, and so that like my stomach's all you know, and boom, it's done. Not that you know, it's a process. It's not just boom, oh cool, I'm done, but something definitely shifted. And a lot of times when we go through those initiations and such, and I've learned this doing soul retrievals for people and stuff, that a lot of times the biggest changes are actually really super subtle, and you don't actually realize that you've crossed a threshold till you're further down the line going, oh wow, that was a different thought or feeling with that circumstance. You know, all of a sudden you realize you're not reacting to things the way you were just like a month ago or whatever. And so a lot of the times we're like through that before we even realize it. And that's the way it really, I'm not going to say it should be, but I think for most we're on the spiritual path, and it's like death and rebirth. Oh, good, I'm on the rebirth side. Woohoo! Oh crap, there's a death coming. No, and it's like it's the flow, just like the seasons. We all have our winters and we have our summers, and most of the time, the seasons blend into each other, and it's a natural flow from one state to another. So don't think that to become enlightened or to continue to move forward on your spiritual path, that you have to be like the fool card and jump off a cliff or whatever. That you're doing it right now, right here. You took time out of your busy week, your busy day, to sit in quiet, to contemplate, to connect to spirit. Boom. That's it. One step after another. So kudos to you. Thank you for taking that step, prioritizing the stillness, prioritizing the unseen realm, which is what creates the seen realm. I was going to say something else, but apparently it wasn't important. Oh, and as we're doing this, as I've been doing pipe, like coming down to the river and actually getting to do it outside, it's like I get into the middle, I'm like meditating or whatever, I'm chill, connecting to the earth, connecting to spirit, and it's like, this is the reality. All of that other crap that I do in my day, not that it's not real or valid, but this, the stillness, the connection, the love, the light, that is the reality. And so that is like learning to give that more of a priority than all the chicken running around, ching, 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 trying to accomplish things and do things. It's so much more important who you are than what you do. And so, thank you again for joining me tonight. I think I'm going to put my poncho back on now. And thank you, Pan, for holding off the rain. I actually had, I've been working with Pan for a really long time too. And there was this one time, and this was like 20 some years ago, when I was still married. My in-laws came out, and we had been out here for 5 or 10 years or something, and had never actually gone to Mount Rainier. So my in-laws came, I almost called them my outlaws. My in-laws came out and took us to Mount Rainier, and it was kind of a cloudy, foggy day, so we weren't sure if we were going to get to see the mountain, like to actually see the crest, the top of the mountain and everything. And so while we were there, I did this 3 times. I'm like, it was cloudy, the clouds were like really low, and I'm like, Pan, could you clear the clouds so that we can see the mountain? Every single time I asked. The mountain came out, we got to ooh and ah at it, and then the clouds came back. And it happened 3 times, so it wasn't just coincidence. I was like, so I've been working with Pan for a really, really long time, so I always appreciate it when he honors my requests. It doesn't always happen, but most of the time it does. So anyway, that's another tangent. But so thank you again for joining me. I'm going to release that sacred space. And if you're not aware, Monday nights I do another. This is the gratuitous self promotion. But Monday nights I do another live video. If you weren't aware, that one's at 7:30. But I do card readings. I do pull 3 cards, 3 medicine cards. Each card has a different totem animal, and then whichever you choose a number, and whichever card aligns to what number you choose, that's your guidance for the week. So I do that on Monday nights at 7:30 right here, 7:30 Pacific time. And I do a lot of other things. So check out my website, perchingwolfstudios.net, and see if there's anything, any of my shamanic services that call to you, or even if you just want to talk or set up a time to talk. And because I make a, I have a list of the things that I do, but I'm not really the one who does it. It's my guides, that from their higher perspective know what needs to happen. And so it's hard to put a description on what I do. But if you feel called to work with me, connect with me either through Facebook or through my website. We can set up an appointment, see what happens. I've also got some classes coming up. I thought we were going to be doing them in May, but the classroom space isn't quite ready, and they just told me today it's going to be June before that happens. So, but keep watching my Facebook page, and I will announce when that class finally gets together. It's an Introduction to Shamanic Journey, which is the class that really kind of set me on my path. And here I am, like 15 years later, something like that. And that was the thing that was the turning point for me that really set me on this path. And so, and even if you're not called to be a shaman per se, it's like not everyone can be a shaman, but anybody can use shamanic practices. Shamanism is the oldest known spiritual practice. It goes way back at least 100,000 years, if not before, and it is a global thing. So no matter who you are, no matter what your heritage is, shamanism is your birthright. It's literally in your blood. It is your ancestors. Somewhere along your line, someone practiced shamanism. So it's like I love introducing people to these things that are possible that people had no idea they could do. And it's about direct revelation, so you don't need the middleman. You can get your answers straight from the spirits themselves. And in that class you actually I teach you not just about shamanism, but we do a shamanic journey so that you learn the process and you actually meet your power animal, so that you leave that class having connected with one of your spirit guides. And once you have that, it's like the world is your oyster. You can do anything with that. You can change your life. So keep watching my page for that. Watch my website for more information. I will try to, I'll keep mentioning it on here as well. But if you're interested, you can always message me on Facebook or email me to be put on. I've actually been keeping a list of people that are interested in the class. So if you're interested, go ahead and you can email me at perchingwolf@hotmail.com or through my website and just say you're interested in the Intro to Shamanic Journeying class. So in that way I'll make sure that you know when it happens. And it's not going to be just a one-shot thing. There's going to be more. And as things are starting to kind of open up, and the place where my office is, Four Sisters Holistic Remedies, is lovely, lovely little metaphysical store in downtown Renton, Washington. They just acquired a new classroom space, and so I'm looking into starting a shamanic journey circle again. It's something I did a while ago, and once the pandemic came about, I kind of let it go because I wasn't sure how to do that over Zoom. But now that we're opening up and can kind of start gathering in small groups and stuff, I'm going to start introducing that, so that once you learn how to journey, I like to have that offering so that people can practice. Even if they do nothing else with shamanism, they have a place they can come to once a month to practice those shamanic skills, to get pointers, to get confidence in what they're doing. So anyway, keep up to date with me on all of that. If you feel like you want a reading or a shamanic healing, let me know. Like I said earlier, my job is to support my community who supports me. And so I thank you so much for being here with me. Your presence is so appreciated. And now now that we have the spirits holding space so beautifully for us, it's time to let them go and return. So spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, compassionate spirits of the middle world, the Fae, the spirits of the land, the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for holding us in your love and your light. Our work for now is done, but you are always welcome in our circles. Thank you for welcoming us into yours. All right, my friends, thank you again so much for joining me. Thank you for your beautiful energy and love and light. I will see you next week. Feel free to share the video. Feel free to invite your friends next time. I will post this onto my Facebook page as well as onto my YouTube channel, so you can rewatch it anytime. And other than that, I will see you soon. So know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. So have a wonderful week. I will see you soon. In the meantime,